Hey, this is Datcherzone. Before the video starts, I just want to let you know that it is kind of laggy, but the audio is beautiful. Alright, let's get straight on to the video. Alright, no wasting time, let's go. On this channel, I've been demonetized before I uploaded. I've been banned on certain things on Reddit already. I just started, and the only thing that I'm doing is telling the truth. But some people don't know how to handle the truth. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to exercise one thing. Well, not one thing only, but one thing when you're dealing with someone, at least in a confrontational kind of thing, is exercising the art of stoicism. Those of you who have seen me on my previous channel or may know me personally, you know that I use the gospel for a lot of things. Some of you may not believe. Here's the one way that you can actually get it going. These are from Greek and Roman thinkers, okay? So you can take this information. It's the same stuff, but without the religion. Although I kind of find that kind of stupid stemming it from that. But anyway, I'm going to leave some stuff down in the description, some links so you guys can actually find some useful resources. It's not a documentary. It's not any of that stuff. It's a brief synopsis. It's a heavy read, but it's reading that you can enjoy because all it requires you to do is have some common sense. A lot of times I describe stoicism as not giving a crap. And that's kind of what it is. The writer here that puts it on the actual kind of synopsis article, whatever you want to call it, they write it as being emotionless. In a way, you're just kind of not caring. But they describe it as a very specific thing, and I want to read it almost word for word so you can have a good idea. Stoicism is a tool in the pursuit of self mastery, a perseverance, and wisdom not to live an extravagant, or crazy life, but to live a great life. These are the same kind of things that help us learn how to be the best that we can be, not just, I'm just going to be this or I'm going to be that. It helps us to know where we stand in all this. It's hard for me to kind of describe this at surface level. So you know what? Let's break it down. It's actually the four virtues of Stoicism. That's courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. Let's break those down. Let's break those down. So we have, we've had internet, we've cured diseases, we've solved all those things, but can we find anything better than those things? What do I mean? Have we found anything better than being brave? Have we found anything better than moderation and sobriety? Have we found anything better than doing what's right? Have we found anything better than truth and understanding? Yeah, I don't want to get all philosophical on you guys, but the only way to kind of help us be better people or better people with some common sense is that we've got to slow down. We've got to start pointing fingers and you did this and you did that and just kind of taking it's like, whoo, calm down, calm down. I'm a kitty cat. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Is it that hard to just stop and think? Let's go over the first bit when it's concerning Stoicism, courage. One of the Stoics, I'm probably going to butcher this, Senka? Probably. You'll understand that. They pitied people who never went through misfortune. You have passed through life without an opponent. No one can ever know what you're capable of. Not even you. Do we have what it takes to be brave? And I can say this without a doubt. I think a lot of people are courageous in what they do, but they don't have any, like, courage is pretty self-explanatory. You're brave. You go beyond what you would normally attempt to do. You take a risk. The thing about that is a lot of people are acting very courageous without self-control. You can even bring the Bible into this, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, long-suffering, self-control. Against there's no such law. People don't know how to act with, some type of, like, calm down. You don't need to go above and beyond acting out of 10. Someone does this. I see this problem across the world. I've got to act upon it. No. putting a little thing on your your little thing saying, oh, BLM this or LGBT this or whatever else, just slapping that on an internet profile doesn't do anything. That's not courageous. Courageous is taking a risk due to jail time, not to the other person, but to you only. Being courageous is taking that leap and understanding that there are high risks but high reward. All right. The one thing you don't want to do is play stupid games and win stupid prizes. That bleeds into the next part I want to talk about. Temperance, aka moderation, bro. Aristotle stated it as we are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is not an act, it's a habit. You can take this a lot of ways, but here's how you can probably scope this out. When it comes to that courage, people always operate at a 10. That's way too much. Some people operate at a 1. You're not doing enough. When you're in that nice median, and maybe you fluctuate a little bit, maybe someone got you a little angry, maybe you're trying to relax. But if you get that middle and you're operating right there, only then will you understand moderation. You can take this as another way. In fact, you can take this as keeping at it. You need to continuously, with moderation, take that courage and act upon it. All right. This one's a little bit more complicated because there's more to it. You've got to do a little bit more mind thinking or something like that. But I'm not saying be dull all the time or act anything less than what you are. But if you really want to make a change, you got to think with your head. Even a fool is considered wise when he shuts his lips. Let's say you're in a room, right? And you have these two people arguing or whatever, and you're just like, hey, how do blah, blah, you said this and blah, blah, you said that, blah, 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 and they're arguing with each other, and then they look at you and they're like, what do you think about all this? Because they said this and you said this and blah blah blah, and then you respond with, I'm just observing. I just need to take this all in. They may not have any idea what's going on, but guess what? Everyone in the room is going to value their opinion at least a little bit more because they're trying to get the whole thing. They're trying to get the whole idea of what's going on. So even that fool who may not know anything is just like, oh, shoot, he wants to hear my side and he wants to hear their side. Wow. Due process, which leads me on to the next thing. The one thing that kind of values it all together. Justice. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Justice is kind of what kind of ties everything kind of all together. It's taking great risk using courage and temperance to stand for justice. And what is justice? They valued it highly. It's doing what's right. What is lawfully understood is just like not trying to, get gray areas of the law or trying to sneak by with all that kind of stuff. Sometimes standing maybe a grocery store clerk or something like that. You're talking to them, equal pay and blah blah blah, and you stand up for them or something like that. It may come to pass that hey, they get equal pay, and you're just like, yay, congratulations. But guess what? Your company adopted the same thing, so now your pay has been lowered. It may not always benefit you. If we're angry with each other and we're constantly doing things that go against each other, we need to stand up for a little thing called common sense and justice. I feel this. Well, how you feel isn't the law. 1+1 is 2, not how you feel. If you want to help someone, if you want to stand up for someone, use the previous 3. It takes courage, risk taking, it takes moderation, and then it has the law in there. But one thing that it doesn't hand by itself is repeating history. And how do we do that? The next part. Wisdom. Wisdom is a challenging one because guess what? Most youngins, millennials, Gen Z, don't want to exercise wisdom because that requires hard thinking, discipline, and common sense. We don't want to deal with that. Nope. Nope. Guess what? You're doomed to repeat history if you don't learn from it. We need to understand where we stand. Another piece of that wisdom, and I say it all the time, heck, it's even written here too. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth because we are meant to listen more than we are to speak. We're constant students. We're learning. We're continuing to improve, aka Stoicism is a tool for self-mastery, perseverance, and wisdom to not live an extravagant life or whatever, but a great one. Falls into the two eyes because we have two eyes and one mouth because we are meant to observe more than we are to speak. Same thing, two eyes, two ears, one mouth. We're meant to take in that information and filter out using our ears and our eyes. We have two of them. We're meant to filter out all the junk and the garbage that we get, and we're just like, okay, well, what can I do here? Someone's debating with me about this. How can I do this? Or, maybe I'm having a really good time right here, but how do I make it better? Here's another saying that I say all the time, and it's not written in there. People learn by being told what they need to hear, not by what they want to hear. Learning about history and stuff like that, sometimes you need to hear about that, but you don't need to embrace it. Those actions, aka temperance, understanding where the justice lies, it's like taking a book out of the Bible, right? Horrible stuff that you see right there happen, and saying, this is what your kids read. And there's no context, no nothing, no wisdom, no using your ears, using your eyes to observe and read. The best thing that we can do to keep up that wisdom is to read. In fact, I challenge you. Pick any book, not a dictionary or a thesaurus, or going to the library using the Dewey Decimal System, all right? I want you to grab a book, not a picture book, ones with just words, and just read one chapter aloud. If you find that your brain is agitated and you're having a hard time listening, you're having that kind of stuff, which I do too as well, it means your wisdom needs a little, it needs a little work. Try to educate yourself. Try to learn. We're not going to get anywhere by speaking before we listen. You know those people in arguments? You'll see it all the time when person is not listening. You can tell their mouth is open like, and they have their finger up like, waiting for the person to finish because they're not absorbing any information. They're not digesting anything that the person is saying. You're not doing yourself any favors by just going through life and pointing the finger. You do no one any justice. You don't do your kids justice. You don't do yourself justice. You don't do anyone any justice by just pointing the finger. But instead of pointing that finger, have an open palm and say, how can I help you? Or how can I figure this out? Heck, even my pastor mentioned it a while back. We are not here on this planet to be served, but to serve. I'm not talking about giving money. I'm not talking about doing that. It's called using stoicism to first learn to love yourself, improve yourself, act with some dang dignity and integrity, and move forward with that. If let's say, for example, your religion prevents you from, talking about this, we'll find out why. Find out why. Don't just blindly do something or blindly listen to people on the internet or blindly, argue with people or blindly do all these things. We're human beings. We have complex things. We are beyond our lizard brain. We can act with some common sense. We can learn and grow. See, I don't know what you guys think about this kind of stuff, but I don't know why I'm in this world. Let me know what you think. We need to value each other much greater than what we do right now. We don't need to argue with each other about all this kind of stuff. We need to worry about what's here. Self-mastery. If you want to worry about world problems, let's figure out the U.S. first. If you're in a different country, figure out your country first. Their culture does not belong to you. Back off. Or as Squidward says, why are you offended? You're not even squids. I want you, if you can take anything from this video, learn to be the best you. Because when you can help yourself, then you can help others. Love you. May the Lord have some blessings on you. And as PewDiePie said, don't be the broccoli. Be the best darn salad you can be the best darn salad you can be. Yay!